I can send this to you later. All right, so this slide is kind of mistitled. It's called Dark Side Defensive System, except it's not the whole system. We're just going to talk about run fits today, okay? Go over here and, ooh, let's not do that. All right, so for those who don't know me, I played cornerback and wide receiver at a Division I college, Drake University in Iowa. I was fortunate enough to be on 2 championship winning teams. And then from there, even when I was in college, I was helping with receivers and defensive backs. I've been coaching defensive backs for a long time. We made a state championship run in 2019. I was coaching running backs at the time, but then I went back to defensive backs after that year. And then since 2022, I've been the defensive coordinator. DA, your trash can hasn't actually been keeping the door open, so you might just need to keep it cracked. This is my work, or not, I shouldn't say work email. This is my school email. This is my coaching email. So yeah, take a photo of this if you need it. I'll write it down. I got cards too. So I want you guys to know that this email here, I'll get it to you. Don't worry about it. I'll get it to you. I want you to know that this email here, it comes to my phone. I'm 30. I'll be 31 here in a couple weeks. So my phone is still attached to me all the time. I'm looking at it all the time. If you have any questions about anything, email me. I know we're time difference and all that kind of stuff. I'll get back to you. Don't worry about it. All right, so I've done this kind of talk before. I talked about my coaching philosophy, efficiency data, but really what we're going to go through the efficiency data pretty quickly because I think it's important to understand why I think that this is so important for our defense or for defenses across the country. And then we're going to talk about the run fits part of this and the techniques and the key reads, and then open up for Q&A. I know you want to talk coverages. I think I have coverage slides on here too, so we can kind of go through that as well. But my coaching philosophy is pretty simple. Teach simple. So I want to make every concept that we do very simple. So kind of like we did today, obviously it was one practice, but we only had 15 minutes of individual. And I take that same, we do the same thing for our kids back home. So, yeah. So I gave our coaches 8 minutes. When we're putting in a new play or new coverage, you have 8 minutes in practice to get it taught. If we can't teach it in 8 minutes, it means it's too complicated and we're not going to do it. So that's where the teach simple comes from, because when things are simple, players think less, they move faster, faster players win more games, okay? Move with the purpose, that just means everything we do is got to be intentional. We can't afford to waste time. So when I'm here giving this talk, I'm giving everything I got to this talk. When we're out there on the field, 100%, every rep, and win the moment. We want to win at everything we do. I want to do a good job on this presentation for you guys. We want to win on the football field. If you got guys that are going to school, we want to win in the classroom too, okay? So efficiency. These metrics for efficiency are first down. What it means to be efficient as a defense on first down means 4 yards or less, or less than 4 yards, as I say. We're trying to get to 2nd and 7. If we get the offense to 2nd and 7, that is considered efficient. If it's 2nd and 6 or less, that's inefficient. So it's a check mark, yes or no. 2nd down is, did they get half? If they get half of the yards they need on 2nd down, that's efficient for the offense. It's not efficient for the defense. 3rd down, efficient means we got them to 4th down. Efficient on 4th down means either a punt or a turnover, right? So our 2022 stats, you can see here, we were not very efficient on 1st down. We were halfway efficient on 2nd down. 50% is not good enough defensively on 3rd down. That means half the time they're getting the 1st down. So I think Coach Abed, you take 50% or better on offense on 3rd down, right? And we were very efficient on 4th down. This really meant we didn't get a lot of 4th downs. But how I interpreted this once we were all done meant since they were so efficient on first down, offenses against us were efficient on first down, and we were halfway efficient on second down, that means we didn't have very many third downs. First down, second down, first down, second down, first down, second down, all the way down the field, right? 2023, that changed. About 59% efficient on first down, half on second down, but you can see that third down. That this number means if a team had third down against us, 64% of the time they're punting. Big jump, right? And fourth down wasn't great, but that didn't happen very, very often to us, so that's okay. So the run efficiency is that down percentage kind of summed up, 51% on first down, and we went from allowing 8 yards a carry, which you would take every day of the week, right? You would still take 6 yards a carry, but from year 1 to year 2, this is a decent improvement. We allowed 32 rushing touchdowns 2022. Last year, we got it down to 20. And then the average yards, it actually got worse. This is what I was talking about. This meant we were giving up big plays all year. Or we were still giving up big plays, but it got worse. So we weren't better all the way across the board. But on this, not the passing slide, but as you'll see, the scoring efficiency, allowing 43 points per game and getting that down to 29, we were much better defensively than we were the first year. And the reason I'm showing you all this is not necessarily to brag on our defense, but I'm going to show you the reason why I think we were this much better year 1 to year 2. And it all starts with this diagram right here. So this is the diagram that I show the kids day 1 of camp. This is what we call our umbrella principle. So everybody that's under this red line, so end, nose, tackle, predator, Mike, Will, these guys, they know they are spill players. We were talking about it at the table, right? All of these guys know I'm under the umbrella. My job is to spill everything. If you're outside of the umbrella, you are a force player, with the exception of that guy. I should have put a star around him except for that guy. So players then ask, okay, what does it mean to spill? Well, I said, tell them, think about a table. You spill milk on the table, it doesn't go through the table, it goes off the edges. The offensive line is the table. I don't want anything going in here. Everything needs to go out this way, right? And I asked, Emmanuel knows the answer to this now. I asked, who is the best tackler on our team? Any coaches got a guess on who? No, the sideline. The sideline never misses a tackle. The sideline never gets juked. He never gets trucked. The sideline will tackle you 100% of the time, every time. So we want the ball carrier to go to our best tackler, the sideline. So then we tell these guys, okay, you're force players. What does it mean to force? Typically, we used to use the term, okay, force them back inside to your spill players. Now, these days, I tell them, force a change of direction. If he's going this way, try to force him to go somewhere else. Don't let him keep going where he's wanting to go. So a lot of times things will bounce. Get out here to the safety, we make a tackle, we run them out of bounds. The safety, I said he's the free safety in particular, who I said is a little bit of a caveat. He's what we call the alley player. Alley players are supposed to fit inside the force player, outside the spill player. So he plays the alley. Typically how this works is the running back's coming out here, end is forcing them out, the Sam is forcing them back in, the free safety is going to insert right in there, we make a tackle, okay? So one of the questions you may have is, okay, you got 6 people in the box, I move this number 2 way out, and he walks way out. How do you deal with this light box? And the answer is the safeties are at 10 yards, and the safeties are taught run pass, almost like linebackers. Day 1, when we're coaching them up and they don't really know what's going on, we're telling them your responsibility is actually run first, not pass. I need you up here triggering to stop this, because most offensive coordinators, if they don't have to throw the ball and they can run the ball all day, they're gonna run the ball all day. We found that out year 1. 8 yards a carry, nobody was throwing the ball on us, right? So once we understand this diagram, we move into the linebackers and we teach the linebackers, okay, how are we going to teach them how to fit the run? and we give them a primary key that says, hey, you're going to look at the guard closest to you. As I was telling Coach Hans earlier today, I've gotten away from actually teaching these guys that they have a gap. Because what happens is you tell them they have a gap or B gap. Even if that gap is closed, they read run and they run right into B gap anyway, and the running back's not going to be there because you got to cut back here. He's going to run into A gap, he's going to run into B gap, and then we leave a gap open just because of how it all works out here. So first we tell them to read the guards. Then we tell them your secondary key is the back. You're the near back. So he's going to read this guy, he's going to read that guy. And how this ends up working out is we tell them to read open windows. So I don't give them a gap. I can say you have fluid fits and you're going to read open windows. So, and we'll see film of what those open windows really look like. But down here, when you get things like inside zone and this tackle turns out on the end, while they're double teaming the nose, there's a gap that opens up. Their backs are to each other. And we're telling that Mike linebacker, you need to go fill that window right now. Because if you don't, bad things happen. This is when, shoot the gap right now. If a window opens up, we tell them go close the window. So open up, shoot the gap right now. The running back will meet you there. I promise he will. And then we have other reads for ISO, right? So now if you get the gap open up and you've got ISO or lead blocker coming through there, he's taught to use his outside shoulder on the inside gap because he has to spill. So we want to protect the inside, make it bounce. And the will is going to scrape over the top and run that down. And then we got Sam and other guys to help with this too. Pulling, we have the same thing. So this is kind of what we're talking about at the table, where you get the down block, you're going to get the puller. The end is going to spill this. The backer is going to actually come off the edge, and the other backer is going to follow. So the two things we teach first, open window, how to close that, and then cloudy to clear. This is when there are no windows. So this is like outside zone, right? There are no windows to run through. So you need to be following this back. And when the window opens, whatever, first one, shoot it, go get the running back. Okay? This here. Yes, good question. He plays over the top. So this is where they have to communicate. They have to talk to each other. So this Mike, he's seeing a pulling guard, and he said he needs to be yelling, pull, pull, pull. That's telling the will linebacker, I need to get to the edge of the line of scrimmage right now. And the Mike is going to work cloudy to clear over the top, right? And if everything's done right, it's going to spill, and he will have enough time, all right? So this is kind of just what it looks like in practice. When you draw it up, you have your whiteboard wars. This is what it's going to look like against gap, ISO, and zone runs in different fronts. And the reason we teach this is because we are a team that does get into now, or we didn't before, but now we are a team that does get into even fronts, a 4-2-5. We will get in a 3-4 sometimes, and we don't want to have to reteach. How do you, okay, well, I'm here and I'm here. No, you know what the umbrella is. And the difference now is when we get into an odd, which that's Ocho, odd down here, where we have a guy that pops out and we've got 4 linebackers. The end that popped off the line of scrimmage, he is no longer under the umbrella. He becomes a force player. And he just understands, oh, okay, I don't spill things anymore. I'm a force player. I need to make him change direction. Okay? So I think we should be getting to our first clip here.
Do you get into a lot of odd fronts?
No, we don't get into a lot of odd.
I'm thinking if you guys are using the umbrella thing, when you play 3-4, those guards are freaky.
Well, it depends on which 3-4 we get into. So you can get into what we call it Lobo, because New Mexico's area code is 505, right? So we got a 505, and yes, now the big gaps are open. We actually don't get into Lobo because of that reason. Not that it doesn't work. It's just I don't have kids that are good enough to do that. So what we will do is we will either get into a mint front where it's 4-eye, 0-4-eye to close the B gaps because we got guys hanging off the edge, or what we installed this spring was what we call Oki, which is 5, 0, 4-eye. And then we just take the, right, and we just pop somebody off.
What are your rules for that? Your 4 eyes to the boundary to the strike? What do you, how do you?
He's to the weak side. He's to the weak side.
He knows that that's not.
Yeah, so we typically we have a and I might have misspoke. I think I misspoke on there. It's not a. So this is what we do. We usually have a 5 and a 3 to the strong side, and then a 2-eye to the weak and another 5, and the 4-2-5, right? So then what we do is move the 3-eye, or not the 3-eye. That's not a thing. We move the 3 over a gap. Basically, everybody shifts over a half gap. So it really turns into a 5, a 2-eye, a 4-eye, and then the guy hangs off the edge. So you can call him a wide 5, depending on the formation. Maybe he needs to walk all the way out or not. But we take the weak side 5, pop him off, and we move the 2 inside guys over a full man. Yes. Yep. I do sometimes. Most of the time, day one, we blitz him back. He steps off the line. We just kind of make the O-line count a little bit differently. And then we end up blitzing back to a 4-2. So it's all the same. We typically put just an athlete at the weak side end.
That was my next question. What kind of player you got?
Yeah, so I'll tell you about this kid. This is why we were able to do it. So this kid is, he started at corner. He's a little bit bigger. He's about my size. He started at corner. Then one day at scout team, we were short on linebacker, so we put him at linebacker. And he's fast. He's kind of Emmanuel-esque. He's not as big as Emmanuel, but just you would see ball go that way, and he just takes off running, go catch the kid. So we said, okay, you play weak side defensive end so that when it's pass, I don't do whatever the hell you want to do. Get to the quarterback. I don't care. I'm not even gonna teach you nothing. We just let him loose and let him play. And you'll see some clips of him on here. So that's that position for us right here. That's not the kid. This is a different kid. He played baseball for us. So again, he's just kind of a guy that came out and doesn't know too much football, but he's an athlete and he knows how to run after the ball. So we put him at weak side end. Okay. So I'm actually going to go to the backside view of this. Okay. So we have trips. There's trips over here to the right side. So what we actually do is we shift the line. So usually the 3 technique is right here where the ref is standing. And the 1 is on this side. And when we get trips, we shift. And the reason we shift is because he has to help us with that receiver that's hanging off the screen over here. And I don't want him, because I know gaps.
Yeah, so you change the strength of the field before.
Right. Well, I don't change the strength of the field. I just slide the line over because I know gaps, and I know that I don't want him to have to cover number 3 and be responsible for play side A. So we tell him, hey, move the line over. So now you're responsible for play side B. The gap is closer to you, and now you're able to move out, right? So I'm going to pause this clip pretty quick because I want you to see this hole. Bam. There it is, inside zone, right here. He's taught, go now. Runs right into it. There's no thinking involved. Just go get it, boom. Close the window. Okay? So now, the same game. Now they're like, okay, inside zone, they've been killing us in inside zone. We're gonna read, we're gonna pull it. So we're talking about weak side end right here. He does a good enough job. There's things that I want him to do a little bit better, but it's enough to put on film to say good job. He gets a down block, right? Number 78 wants to go to our linebacker right now. So instead of The previous play, he blocked the end, they double teamed the nose, and our linebacker came in here. Now they want to go block the linebacker right now and leave the end and read him. So he surfs, he sits on the line of scrimmage, quarterback pulls it, nowhere to go. Turn him back inside, get him on the ground. Now, I would like for him to actually, put his hands on 78 and move him. And I have a clip of another guy on our team who actually destroyed a kid doing it correctly. But he didn't get hands on 78. But at least when we get there on Saturday morning, I can say, okay, good job at least staying home for the read.
If stay the ball stays, and the running back can take the ball and go with the if it's running, if right there, the running back take the ball and run to the
And he's going right here.
off against
Oh, he's going out here.
yeah, but even if you go back to convenience, like
It doesn't make it cut back.
yeah, if the running back take the ball, this ball
Mhm.
goes back here, so you're gonna.
Oh, yeah. So
Well, you said you run like that.
Yeah, that's what
Same side.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. If
It's not a counter when you ride to running back.
right. And then the running back's going to come back. Be safe.
Sometimes when you start with defense, you know that they'll line up to the running back, either to or away from it. So then you can a little bit play with that, and you just try it throughout the games. Hey, you do the same stuff.
Yeah.
How did they line up? And then running back just, if we go for a fact, and running back is just like, oh, the hole was just like, and then we come back to the.
Yeah, and you come back to it, yeah.
We run the same time zone.
Yeah. So without trying to game plan it, right? So if we're just saying, hey, this is what I would say first is right now, we got to squeeze one. They need to be in contact, right? We need to make this gap as small as possible. But this dude right here should be running through the gap. And you're still going to get a game. I'm not going to say this is going to go for a loss. Yeah, window opens. You need to be running through here right now. Now he waits. It should, when they're doing it right, you should look on here and be like, damn, they're blitzing their linebackers. And we're not. But it should look like that. You should be. So now we're getting pull. Here's power. Right, so this is we go to a school and play in Louisiana. Let's go to the end zone angle here. So now they've got a tight end. There's no receiver, or there is an extra receiver out here, but there's no number 2. This is the number 2 receiver. So now we set an edge here with our Sam. We'll call him a linebacker, but he's the safety. And they're going to pull from the backside, and they're going to lead with the fullback. So he gets washed. We kind of expect this, right? Because he's in a 7. That's why we have to have him on the edge, and he gets kicked out. But the linebackers played this correctly. Look, you can see them flowing with the pull. Right. So now I have 2 free guys and one blocker. What's up, DA? Why they're aligned this way? So pretend that guy's not here. Right. This is actually a 3 technique. The center is over here. So that's a 3. He's aligned in the A gap. He's aligned backside B.
So that's your mic.
Right here. This is the mic.
And that's you, and that guy on the edge now that you set that you're using to set the edge is your will.
No, Mike, Will. This is our Sam safety. Right, and we have a free safety that's out here somewhere. Yeah, so he walked up. He's in a 9. He's in a 7. There's a 3. We got a 2-eye on this side. We got a who is this? Yeah, it's a 5. It just kind of looks like not a defensive end. We must have been hurting at this time. But they see pull. They get over the top. Then we got 2 guys for their 1 blocker. I don't know why they didn't give us a fumble here, but whatever. That's fine. We go to Louisiana. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you linebackers do exactly what you teach
Mm-hmm.
them. They see pulling guard and they just
Yep, they flow, and then we have, so now you see number 27 back here. This is our weak side safety, right? So if he were to leak out, you see where he's coming right here to close this off. This, number 27, that's hard to teach. It's hard to get this guy to realize that he needs to come back and fit on the other side of the field. However, I've worked with him for 2 years now. He finally gets it. He's a senior this year. He'll be okay.
You see on the process, it's like, that's the perfect, how you linebacker play it, it's the perfect scheme to play box. Like, if you box it and your linebacker are moving just
Yeah, and in this case, we do box it, right? Because he becomes the end. Boom, he sticks it outside. There's the box. The difference is you see him getting washed, right? Yeah. So yes, we do box when it's a force player. When a force player is the one that sets the edge, we will box. But the ends never box. They always spill.
quick question.
Yeah.
So let's say you have your window rule, right?
Mhm.
So when the guy is pulling, why does that play side linebacker don't shoot?
You're talking this guy. How come he isn't?
The other one, so let's say now you have the right pulling guard. So now
Right.
suddenly,
So who are we looking at? You're talking about this guy right here?
yeah, exactly. Why doesn't it just like come up straight?
Because okay.
I know that's part of the rules and stuff, but it was just like, what's the thought process behind it? You could tell that guy, all right, now you're replacing the pulling guard. You shoot in there, and then you have the, that's what, 3 takes? Yeah, probably 3 things.
This right here is a 2-eye. The 3 techs on this side.
Is it 2 eyes, and then you tell you 2 eyes cross face then?
Yeah. So what we would do. So the rule is, you see pulling guard. We're assuming ball's going this way, and then you're saying, okay, we know you're going to send this way. We're going to actually run the ball back away from the pulling guard. And what I would say is that's where this guy's actually supposed to come in. He's responsible for B gap on this side. He just ends up, he's watched enough film to know where he's supposed to be, but that's why he's late. You see him, if ball is actually coming here, I have to rely on the safety. It's not ideal, but that is why he's the weak side safety. We have 2 profiles for the safety. We got one guy on the weak side who doesn't cover as well, but he tackles. He tackles well. The other guy doesn't tackle as well, but he covers. So the free safety, we put out in space and tell them to cover. The weak side safety, we say, you don't have to cover as much because we're putting you into the boundary on purpose. But that means you damn well be able to stick your nose in here and tackle somebody. And if he can't do that, then we have to scheme some other things. But this year, we didn't particularly have that problem. 27 is good enough to handle it for us. Okay, so now we get a little bit of ISO. This is another version of power, except the guys in the backfield, right? They're running it out of gun. So again, we have 22 here, walked up to the edge because this is his number 2 receiver. It's a tight end, right? And in this clip, we're gonna box it again because he's the force defender and not a spill guy. So you can see our end here kind of getting knocked off kilter, but that's okay. He's eating the block. Mm-hmm. He should, yeah. But this is the whole thing, right? Of like, this is why we don't box, because they never actually want to get up there and be nasty about it. So he takes the block on, but the nice thing is what number 5 does, right? He hears the pull call and he takes the puller on with his inside shoulder. So now you can't cut right here. The back bounces and we've just got enough people running to the ball, right? And we get him on the ground. I don't know what the gain was on this, but it wasn't very much, right? So now I put this one here. This is more of just I'm a defense coordinator, and this was a hell of a call, right? This is This is 3rd and 3 on the goal line. I actually called a safety blitz here. But the idea is closing open windows. And why that's important is because I'm sending this guy on a blitz, and he should be coming off the edge here. But we've talked about, hey, when a window opens, go close it. So when we get to the end zone angle, he should be coming off the tight end. And what he realizes is, oh, open window. I'm not giving up inside. And he runs in there and meets the running back. 4th down.
It's dangerous. I mean, he's a force player. That spills outside the umbrella.
Yeah, if it spills outside, yeah, we got nobody out here but a corner. But man, I asked him when he came up the sideline, I was like, hey, why the hell did you go in B gap? And he was like, well, the window was open. I said, well, great, you know. Fine, fantastic, because you know we don't have linebacker scraping because we're actually sending more than just him. You know, linebackers are blitzing, so like, yeah, if this actually bounces outside, there's nobody out there. But I would rather the running back is looking for the hole. I want to be where the running back thinks he's supposed to be going, and then if he has to bounce, hopefully we can rally. We can rally to that, and you can see our corners actually. I don't know where the receiver is. Maybe there's not a receiver out there, but he's out there.
Yeah, you can see number 12 from the left. He's lost.
Oh, yeah. So so we've got a force player out here anyway. All right. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's fighting. Okay, so now we have trips, and now they're going to run QB lead. This is just ISO. Let's see if I can get to the end zone here. 30 is going to lead. Right, so now we have an open window, but we've got a lead blocker coming in here. And again, our Mike linebacker does the right thing. He shows his face and gets inside, spooks the QB. QB tries to jump outside. Linebacker, number 1, our weak side linebacker ends up scraping over the top. Short gain. I think they end up getting, it's 1st and 10. So this is an efficient play for us. This was not a gain of 4. So now it's 2nd and 7, and we keep playing football. Okay, so now we get to play in the Cowboys facility. And this is, so now I got a different DN in there. So there you go, Chris. Look at this dude. That's how we're supposed to squeeze the down block. You close both gaps. There's no gap because 58 is on his ass. Right. And now there's just nowhere to go. So that's really the only reason I put this clip on here is because I was showing it. It's like, look, this is how we actually want to squeeze. Make the tackle yourself. Just get the dude out of the way. But this team likes to run counter, right? So we're still not getting the push all the time, but the idea is he's going to surf and spill both of these pullers. So by spilling, these dudes have nowhere, they can't lead up on anybody, and here comes our linebacker off the edge. He's just a sophomore. He's put on a lot more weight. He's going to be a lot better this year. All right. And we've got a few more that I think this is the same play here. Yeah. Same play. End zone angle. So here he goes. He squeezes, dips underneath. Dips underneath those pullers and makes sure that they can't go to the next level and block, and we leave the linebacker free. And that's really the philosophy here is we're trying to get the D-line to eat as many blocks as possible, keep the linebackers clean, let the linebackers make the tackle. And this guy, number 50, so we were talking about, do we have talent on the team? Well, he's a preferred walk-on at Nebraska. now, or not Nebraska, Nevada now. I wish we had him sooner. This was his first year playing football. He's a big kid. He's finally getting his ways, but I wish we had a little bit more time with him. So here's the same thing, same play. They're running counter. We're gonna spill this. Linebacker's gonna scrape over the top. Now, this particular play, we got good stuff here. He's doing it right. This is the new kid. I shouldn't say new. I mean, he's a sophomore, so it's his second year on varsity. This is our senior. Our senior is incorrect here. I don't know where he's going. He needs to be over here. Now, thankfully, we actually end up making the tackle anyway. But hey,
So you prioritize pulling guards. You prioritize the movement over film windows.
yes, so much so.
Because I could see in that if you're fit the window, fill the window.
Yeah.
If he sees a window, I can see why you might have done that instead of being over the top.
Right. Yeah, no, we definitely prioritize the pulling motion first, because if this works out right and we mess this up, they got two pullers for our one, and they're gonna get the safety.
A big guy has to block number
34,
34, and he's
and then the next guy is gonna get up and get 27.
normally, and if it works out, he's going to get blown up by the blocker, and the linebacker, and the running back just follows his lead. But now, see, if the first puller run faster, that play would have worked. But he takes on the 50, and he should have.
Yeah, he takes on 58, which is good.
Gone further away.
And this is why we teach the spill, because he can actually take two blockers with him right now, and he does. But to answer the question even deeper of how much we prioritize that pulling motion is, had I called a blitz, which I know I didn't because I don't call that, he has to pull off the blitz. If he blitzes, if I'm telling him you're blitzing this gap and he gets a puller, you gotta abort the blitz. Ball's going over there. Because there's been too many times where I've blitzed a guy, he takes it anyway, and then we just lose a guy. Right?
It's easy for us. The offense just wants to have that linebacker there because you're running rights. So if the left linebacker just shoots in the gap, there's nobody there. So
Yeah.
he's out of the game.
Well, and I got to give him a little bit of credit here. He does get to the other side of the ball. This is not bad. It looks worse on the other angle. He's still actually taught to scrape all the way across. And that's why he's out of the play here, right? He shortchanged it, but that's okay. So I think this is the last play here. This is just ISO. Unfortunately, I don't have an end zone angle on this one. But this is kind of what I was talking about. I want you to keep an eye on this guy right here. So Coach Abed was talking about, does it look like they're blitzing? And I want offensive coordinators to look at this clip and be like, oh, they just sent him on the blitz.
That's not familiar. That's double A shit. We tag it as a double A, and then when we see them like this, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
are they coming? Then we gotta put them in the count.
Right. And in this case, this particular game, he was locked in. He understood down and distance what they're trying to do. They got two back, and they had a big tendency. They put two backs back there. We know we're getting ISO. So he knew, oh, window's opening. I'm just going to go get it. Both of them, and we're sticking them in the backfield, right? So now it goes from 2nd and 5 to 3rd and 7, and we get them on the ground, okay? So before I get into our coverages, because the coverages is a whole different animal and how we teach that. Is there any questions, anything we need to see? Go back. I know you're in here late. I'm recording this, so I'll make sure everybody gets my email, and I can send it over to you when I get this edited and whatnot. Looks good. All right. Anything we want to see? Anything we want to talk about when it comes to run fits? Seems simple enough. Okay. So if anybody needs to leave, this is the time to do it if y'all don't want to hear me talk about the defensive coverages.